My name is Damien. I was born on the eastern part of Malaysia, known as the Borneo. I moved to Melbourne, Australia when I was 15, and then I moved to Auckland, New Zealand when I was 19, where I've been calling home for the past 8 years. Travel and aviation has always been a big part of my life, and being so fortunate to be able to train to become a professional pilot and also be able to venture solo and travel around the world exploring has been such a privilege. In 2019, before COVID hit, I've managed to visit some of the most amazing cities that I've dreamt for my whole life. 2022 is a new beginning for me, and I also wanted to share some of my travel journey and experiences as I discover more of the world. If you haven't already subscribed, press the button right now so that you won't miss out on more content that will be coming in the future. Thank you so much in advance for watching and for subscribing. Now stop rambling and let's get back to the video. You are joining me on my way into the main terminal of Kuala Lumpur International Airport Terminal 1, where I've just gotten off my Singapore Airlines flight. You can check out my review of that flight after this video. After a complex immigration clearance due to the border restriction at the time, I had left myself about 4 to 5 hours of layover time. When check-in opened, for my flight, I went to the self-check-in machine where I was having a bit of an issue as it was not recognizing my passport, so it took a couple of minutes. But there were plenty of machines lying around the check-in area, so it didn't bother anyone else. Yeah, it didn't get crowded at any time at all, which is fantastic. When it asked to verify my phone number, for the check-in, it was showing that my phone number was from Antarctica, which is hilarious because there's no travel company operating in Antarctica, but New Zealand is fairly close, so I suppose we are nearly there. After clearing immigration again, I tried to find somewhere to eat, but there were not many choices and some of the restaurants weren't operating due to probably COVID. And some of the operating restaurants weren't offering vegetarian options either. But luckily I've got my snacks from my last flights with Singapore Airlines and I had it in my bag, so I just have to eat those instead while I wait for my next flight, hoping that there will be something to eat on board. So I've been sitting here waiting for, I don't know, 2.5 hours. And I've just opened the boarding lounge, so I'll be boarding, not boarding, but going into the lounge, and probably another 10-15 minutes they might start boarding. It's going to be the last flight of this one-way journey. It's been a very long 2 days, or well, 1 day, 1.5 days maybe. But I'm pretty exhausted, pretty tired and hungry. Luckily I've got some leftover muffins and bread from the last flight, so I've eaten those. And yeah, I'll be taking this Malaysia Airlines Boeing 737-800 from Kuala Lumpur to Kota Kinabalu. It's going to be about 2 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah, I'm not sure what to expect. It's probably going to be pretty typical. I think there might be a meal because when I was booking they did ask what meal I want. So yeah, I think there should be a meal, but in terms of the seating and everything, I think it's going to be pretty standard. Service, I would probably think it's going to be pretty meh as well. But we'll see. Sometimes, you know, the crew might be good. But yeah, I'm going to head in now, and I'll catch you either during the flight. I'm not sure if there'll be someone sitting next to me. When I was getting my boarding pass and choosing the seats, it was saying that it's empty on the row that I choose. But you know, they might have put someone there or whatever. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Otherwise, I'll probably catch you when I get to the hotel, because it's going to be pretty chaotic when I get there, because I haven't arranged a hotel yet. I think they said they can do that over at the airport when I arrive, so I'll have to do that. So yeah, it's going to be hectic, but really looking forward to finishing this, I believe, 30-hour trip on the way to Kota Kinabalu, and get a good sleep, because I only had like a 3-hour sleep during the flight, and I woke up pretty early on Sunday as well. I think it was at 7 a.m. So yeah, I'm kind of exhausted. So yeah, let's go and check out this last flight of the day, and I'll do a summary when I get to the hotel. Malaysia Airlines operates the Boeing 737-800 on most domestic routes, with mostly fully loaded flights on this particular route, and the many times I've taken it is evidence that there is a huge demand. We are not even accounting the other two airlines that are also operating on this particular route. While they did operate the Boeing 777-200 over a decade ago, they do not have any of those operating anymore, but they do operate the Airbus 330 on some Asians and international routes. I wish they would operate one wide body to my hometown, as there is a huge demand for it, and the product is far superior than the Boeing 737. The IFE system on their fleet is very outdated, with low resolution and unresponsive touch screen. But there is a decent selection of movies which will be sufficient on all domestic flights within Malaysia. The legroom is not great. I felt quite restrictive, and with a packed aircraft that did not help at all. In terms of the seat features, it's pretty much the same. You got the seat pocket, and there are a little bit of dirt on the wall.
Protecting you from the risk of communicable diseases has always been part of our safety protocols. When an aircraft completes a journey, regularly touched hard surfaces in the cabin, including seats, tray tables, bins, lavatories, and galleys, will be sprayed in.
We departed out of hazy Kuala Lumpur, traveling east towards the Borneo. We were served a hot meal after departure, with my fairly late booking of about 24 hours prior to departure. I was still able to get a vegetarian special meal request. It was sort of a pasta dish, and it tasted quite decent. With the tropical region We also get a lot of thick clouds high up in the atmosphere, so it was quite bumpy for the first half hour of the departure, but we clear out of the clouds with a beautiful tropic sunset in view before our late night descent into Kota Kinabalu. Before the lights were dimmed for landing, the crew lined up on their position along the aisle to give thanks to passengers by bowing, a gesture that I've only seen the first time on Malaysia Airlines, and it is certainly showing the culture change within the airline. The crew were friendly throughout the flight as well, so there are absolutely no complaints in that department. I was quite surprised that I didn't hear the gear coming down with near pitch black outside view on approach. I didn't know when we were about to touch down until a few seconds prior when I could see the runway lights and a very fast heart rate, given I didn't know if the gear was down, but fortunately it was, and I was surprised by how quiet the plane was, even though it's the older generation. I was able to clear immigration and the COVID quarantine check fairly quickly, and I was the only one coming from an international flight. It was fairly organized and efficient, with a very friendly staff helping me through the process. An hour after the flight touches down, I was checked into my quarantine hotel for the next 5 days. The conclusion for my flight is that they are definitely improving on the soft product and the crew, but there is an urgent need for a retrofit on the hard product as it is showing its age. While it wasn't my intention to travel during the border restriction, it was unnecessary due to my late mother's critical condition, and she passed 2 days after I came out of quarantine. She will be missed.